built on relationships, focused on people, and rooted in the community. Welcome to the Build Blue Podcast. Tune in for weekly episodes featuring guests who are building a better tomorrow. You'll hear inspiring stories from industry leaders, business owners, community partners, and our team members. The Build Blue Podcast, where construction comes to life. An Apex Construction Group production. Hello, it is the Build Blue Podcast, an Apex production, and my name is Jess Blaze, and I am the Business and Community Relations Manager here at Apex Construction Group and the host of the Build Blue Podcast, and we are so excited to welcome Mitch and Sidney Elofson from the Picklebarn. Welcome to the podcast. We're so excited. This is my first time meeting you guys. I know your project is underway with Apex, and we're going to talk about that on today's episode, but it is a pleasure to meet you both.
Yeah, thanks for having us. We're excited to be here.
Yeah, very excited. Thanks for having us.
So let's get started. Tell us, if you can each tell us a little bit about yourselves and about your background, and then we're going to find out more about what brought you to your project with the Picklebarn.
So we both were born and raised in St. Peter. We went to St. Peter High School, played tennis, track, basketball, soccer, and then we went on to play tennis for the Gusties. Then we graduated. We kind of surrounded both of our careers around athletics in some way. I did ex-phys and Mitch did sports and exercise psychology. And then so we got a master's and we kind of just moved on to work for a while. But I guess that's kind of a quick little backstory.
Yeah, I mean, we both been surrounded by sports our entire lives, and we knew that, you know, what we wanted to do in the future was probably going to be revolved around sports and athletics. And so we both coached for a while at Gustavus as well while we were getting our masters here at MSU. And then last couple of years we were over in Rochester working at the Rochester Athletic Club. And so, yeah, I mean, just been surrounded by sports and loving every second of it.
So cool. Typically on the podcast, we ask like an icebreaker question. And the question is usually, if you could open any business, what would it be? Yeah. We already know the answer to that question for you guys. So I'm going to ask you a different question. When you guys were kids, what did you each want to be when you grew up?
Yeah, so when I first started playing tennis, I, like most kids, wanted to be a professional tennis player. So that was my dream for a while. And then for a while, I also wanted to be a firefighter.
Cool.
That was also one of my dreams. So.
When I was a kid growing up, I always called it a dog farmer, but it's just a dog breeder. I don't know. I really liked puppies, and so I think I just made up my own little profession with dog farming, but just a dog breeder, I think.
That's awesome. Do you guys have a dog?
Yes.
We do, yeah.
A little girl named Remy. You'll see her constantly on our social media because we're obsessed.
Yes, we are.
That's awesome. So pickleball is like sweeping the country. It is everywhere. What was your first exposure to the sport?
Yeah, first time we played, we were actually down in Florida. We had an internship for MSU down there, and so we were working at a tennis academy. And I was one of their mental strength coaches, and then Sid was the physical strength coach down there. And so we were working at the academy, and then there were pickleball courts about 5 minutes from where we were staying, and so we went down and played for the first time down there, and loved it from the start.
Yeah, we started with playing singles just because it was just us down there, and we loved that. But then the more that we learned about pickleball and the more that we played more doubles for sure.
Yeah.
So for those of us who are new to the pickleball phenomenon, can you explain how it differs from tennis, similarities, kind of describe what it's like?
Yeah, I would say it's somewhere between ping pong and tennis.
Okay.
You could maybe throw badminton in there a little bit too. But you're playing on a smaller court. You're not using a racket with strings like tennis. It's more of a paddle, kind of similar to ping pong. And then the one thing that makes it unique is that they have that kitchen area that you can't. There's an area of the court that you can't step in if you're going to hit the ball out of the air. And so that makes the sport unique. And you can play singles or doubles. And you know, the learning curve is not necessarily very steep. Anybody can kind of pick it up and learn to play within maybe 20 minutes or so, and it's really not too difficult. Easy to learn, but difficult to master for sure. So it's been really fun for Sid and I to really get into it and kind of learn the ins and outs of the sports and that stuff.
Yeah.
Can you describe the net? Is it high? Is it low? Is it in the middle?
It's
I'm trying to
just-
picture it.
Yeah, it's just a little bit lower than tennis, a couple inches, right?
Yeah,
Not much at all.
Very similar to a tennis net. So it's not up high like a badminton
Yep.
net or anything, but just right on the ground, but maybe just about 3 feet or so off the ground.
And the ball?
Ball is a wiffle ball. A version of a wiffle ball, a little
Okay.
bit harder, a hard plastic ball with holes. And so that kind of allows you to, it slows down after you hit it. Even if you hit it hard, it's going to slow down fairly quickly. And so it allows for long rallies and just really fun and exciting play, I think.
Yeah, you use a paddle, so people kind of call it a mix between pickleball or tennis and ping pong because you use it's like a big ping pong paddle with no strings or anything, so kind of a mix. Bigger than ping pong, but no strings like tennis.
Yep.
Okay, this is going to be so fun.
I know.
I'm so excited. So your new facility, let's talk about how this dream started.
Yeah, so a long time ago. I mean, when we were growing up, we dated all through high school. So we always just had the dream of like, we're going to own our own facility someday. It started as probably tennis. But then as we learned more about pickleball and we played down in Florida, we just instantly loved it because it gave us the ability to do like a family feel, where tennis, if you don't drill all the time, it's really hard to go out and just have fun with friends.
It can be harder to learn.
Yeah.
And more difficult to like sustain a rally between two people in tennis, I think, than pickleball.
Yeah.
Keep going.
No, yeah. So I think when we started thinking about what we wanted the club to represent and what feel we wanted it to have, it kind of just was really natural to switch to pickleball. We're still going to have some tennis things just because that was our original passion with Roji tennis, which is just 10 and under tennis for kids, because it's a similar size court to a pickleball court. So I guess that's kind of how it formed. We always knew the dream was to own a club, but it kind of shifted from tennis to pickleball maybe when we were getting our master's degree.
That is so cool. I have to share with you guys a story. My husband loves tennis.
Yeah.
And he spent some time in the military in Southern California, so he was playing fairly often and is decent at it. I had never played before. So we tried to go, we were, that'd be a fun thing we could do together.
Yeah.
So I got like a pink tennis racket.
Yeah.
And we went, there's tennis courts by our house. And he was so frustrated.
Really?
He was like, you're going to have to get lessons or something because this is not going to work.
Sure.
So when you guys talk about like the learning curve of tennis, I'm like, I can totally relate. So I might have to get in on that 10 and under deal. So Apex Construction Group is building your building. It is right off of Highway 22, and progress has really sped up as the weather has started to cooperate a little bit more. But let's talk about what it's been like to walk through the project with Apex. This all started before my role here.
Sure.
So I would love to hear from your perspective kind of what that has been like.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. How long have we been working with Apex?
Way longer than a usual project. We started with them at ground zero pretty much. I mean, we had made our business plan and all of that, but we started with them over 2 years ago now, right? I mean,
I
it was
think
2020,
just around 2 years now.
we started with them from just the concept pretty much.
Okay.
We didn't even have funding from the bank when we first came to them. Mitch and I are both pretty young and we don't have a long financial history, so that road was bumpy, but they worked through it all with us.
Yeah, I mean, we have, just from original concept, like, hey, we'd like to do a pickleball facility, and then they're like, what do you want it to look like? And Sid had some really great ideas of what we kind of wanted it to look like.
Jamie's been amazing, kind of making what's in our brains come to life on a piece of paper, because we're pretty like, we know what we want for sure with design and stuff, but Jamie makes it all work and come together, which if you don't know Jamie, she works at Apex, and she's just amazing to work with.
Yeah, and I mean, we initially were dealing with Ryan and Mitch Rolfing as well, and they've been great this entire time. Any questions that we have, we reach out to them and they can get right back to us. We had a lot of meetings here where they would put together a presentation for us, kind of showing us what the timeline and the budget might look like. And so they've been great to work with because, Sid and I aren't construction experts by any means, and so we've had to rely on them for a lot of things, and they've been really helpful, and very attentive to our project, and it's been great working with them.
Yeah, we've said like many times throughout this project, but one of the biggest things that we knew we had to do to like succeed at the size of a project, for us at least, this is a big project, is surround ourselves with people with a lot of knowledge, because we're not experts in every field. We're experts in our own little one, but when it comes to a project this size, you really have to have a wide range of people who know a lot. And so we're really happy we picked Apex, because they have their own experts in like a wide range of fields that they can help us with. So it's been really nice to be able to lean on them and probably pester them about every detail, but they've been great working with us to get it exactly how we want, because they know it's our dream. So
yeah.
That's awesome. And as you guys have seen, especially this week with the progress, the front side is enclosed, the side is enclosed, the panels are going up. Like, what feelings have you guys been feeling as you, I mean, if I've been stalking your project and it's not my dream, so it's like, I have to imagine that you guys are like checking in and what kind of feelings are you feeling as you really start to see it come to life?
Yeah, I mean, we do check. We're currently living, 12 minutes away probably, so it's super easy to get over here and just check the progress. And I would say when we see it getting further along, it's a mix between excitement and also like nervousnness.
A little bit nausea.
Yeah. Because we're doing something like this is scary for us for sure, but it's a good scary. And so we get really excited when we see that the panels are going up, and I think the roof is going to be going up really soon. And so once that's done, we'll be able to get inside and kind of look around and do all that other fun stuff. So we're just so excited.
Yeah, we went and we like walked the inside the other day, and it was just like surreal looking up and like seeing everything and the size of the building. It was pretty overwhelming, I would say, when we went in there for the first time. And they've had to remind us constantly, like, it's been a really windy winter, because we're impatient and we just want it to keep going, but they've been doing a great job. I mean, the workers are out there every day that they can be, and so it's been good.
Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we're getting into a stretch where...
I know Minnesota's really...
it's finally March. Spring is coming. Right. So let's talk about what the community can expect. This is brand new to the community. Obviously, a brand new building and business, but a brand new concept.
Sure.
So I think people are excited and curious. So what can people expect? What are they going to find inside the Picklebarn when you guys open the doors?
Yeah, so hopefully a family, like homey feel is kind of the number one thing. But you'll come inside and you'll be in the lobby, which will have a pro shop for pickleball and just a bunch of different things. And then we'll have 8 indoor pickleball courts. They're smaller than a tennis court, so it's nice. We have big size pickleball courts. If you have been on a pickleball court, there's lots of room for ours.
Yep.
And we'll have locker rooms, kind of an area upstairs for socializing, but a big backyard, lots of space for games. And we just really wanted it to be a professional feel, like a professional facility, because that's what the game needs to grow. But we also wanted it to be a place where families can just go and make memories. And yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a social sport, and it's like can be very family oriented. Kids can play with their grandparents. You can't really do that with a whole lot of sports. Yeah. And so we really wanted to promote that type of feel at the place. And so we think we have a good amount of courts to be able to facilitate that, as well as space upstairs on our mezzanine or outside behind the building for kind of entertainment or like lawn games or stuff like that. And so we have a ton of ideas, and we just hope that we're able to put them into action.
I'm just so excited. It has been absolutely awesome talking to you guys. Will it be like membership based, or can you come and pay to play for an afternoon, or what does that model look like if you are ready to share that?
Yeah, so we really wanted it to be where anyone could come and just play. So you definitely don't need to be a member to play. We will have memberships just for those pickleball players that will be playing more often, and they'll get like discounted rates just so they can get in and play as much as possible, because pickleballers go kind of hard sometimes. So we definitely want to give them discounts when we can and give perks to our members, but you do not need to be a member to play.
Okay. Yeah. And then as far as equipment, will there be paddles available for rent? Do people have their own pickleball paddles?
Yeah, I would say obviously if you're an avid pickleball player, you're going to have probably your own paddle, maybe even your own balls, but you don't need them to come into the Picklebarn to play. We'll have paddles available for anybody that wants to try it out, and we'll have pickleballs for people to use as well. But yeah, I mean, basically you can walk in, and as long as you're wearing tennis shoes, you should be good to go. We'll have you covered for everything else.
I was just going to ask, because I ask that about every event that I go to. What do we wear?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I don't know. You don't want to try to play in like sandals or anything like that. So yeah, any sort of enclosed shoe should be fine. Tennis shoe preferably.
Okay.
But that's about it. We were just at a tournament in Lakeville last weekend, and I saw a guy playing in a long sleeve dress shirt and jeans, and so he was rocking it like that. But tennis shoes, and you're good to go.
Whatever works.
Yeah. Whatever works.
I just get off work and can't wait to get to that pickleball
That's
court.
Right.
And will there be lessons available?
Yeah, there will be lessons. We have a few people now that are willing to give lessons. Sydney and I are both certified to be able to give lessons, and so we'll do lessons. We'd love to have clinics where we can maybe bring in some professional players from around the country, and then maybe group classes and leagues and
drop-ins.
This was the idea thing that Sid and I that I was talking about. We have tons of ideas, and so we want to offer as many different types of ways to play as possible. So anybody who's a beginner to an advanced player can come and find something that suits them.
And I just thought of this as you were talking, Mitch. Is this being talked about as an Olympic sport? Did I see that somewhere?
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
It's starting to get the rumblings. I think, it would lend itself to a good one. Pickleball is definitely more popular, though, in the United States. So I feel like it will take a little bit of time. It's starting to go everywhere, but I think it will take a little bit of time to actually happen. But the rumblings have started, at least.
That's cool.
Yeah. So we'll see. I'm not sure exactly where it's going to go, but I know that in the U.S. right now it's booming, so that's a good sign.
Yeah,
for sure. And if all things go according to plan, we're looking at summer.
Yes, we are. We hope to be in there as soon as possible, but we're looking at summer right now.
That's awesome. And let people know how they can find you guys on social media so they can follow for updates, website, things like that.
So we have Picklebarn MN is our Instagram, and then that's the same for our Facebook. You can check us out at our website, which is just www.picklebarnmn.com. And we do have a TikTok, but we're working on doing better at
dancing. What are we doing on TikTok?
We're not dancing. No, we are not social media experts either. So if you really want to experience something fun / kind of odd, you can go to our TikTok, which is just Picklebarn.
I'm definitely going to. Is there anything else you guys would like to add?
I would say we're just so excited to open and hopefully be a place for the community that people are excited to go to, spend time with their family and friends, because that's why Sid and I are doing this, is to try to be a part of the community that raised us, and so we love this area, and so we just want to try to do the best we can for the people of Mankato.
Yeah, we're just really hoping to make it a place that they can be proud of and excited about in the community. So.
Yeah. You guys have been so fun to talk to. Mitch and Sidney, owners of the Picklebarn, which will be opening this summer, and we can't wait. And we'll have to get you guys in for another episode of the podcast, like post-opening, and check in and find out how it's going. And I know we've got some cool stuff tracking the progress out at your project, too, that we'll be sharing on our social media. So, again, thank you so much for spending some time with us. It's been awesome getting to know you. I think that you guys are just super cool people. So, thank you.
Thanks for having us. Yeah, really appreciate it.
And you can listen to the Build Blue podcast wherever you get your podcasts, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Anchor, and we'll be back with another episode next week. Thank you.